I'd just like to make this short video to raise public awareness about a problem that I, as a guide dog owner, and a lot of my visually impaired friends experience on a daily basis. And it's a bit of a sticky topic because it's actually a problem that's caused by people's kindness and consideration. What I'm actually referring to is crossing the road. Right, we've had some new roadworks taking place across the island recently, and this has involved the removal of a lot of the audio beeps on some of the controlled crossings. So the pelican crossings that used to have an audible beep no longer do. And we've had a lot of people ringing up to say how difficult it is, and I just want to raise awareness a bit of the other ways that you can, or the other tactics you can use to cross the road. Obviously the first is the tactile paving. I'm looking out for tactile paving. Here we go. Now the tactile paving runs from the curb to the building line. The second thing is actually the rotating cone that is located underneath the control box. If you look at the control box, you've obviously got the button at the bottom in the centre. If you feel underneath, just to the right, there's a ridged cone that hangs down that turns round when the lights turn green. So all you do is press the button, put your finger on that, and the moment it starts to rotate, you know that it's safe to cross over the road. Some crossings actually have a bar on the front instead, but the majority on the Isle of Wight actually have the cone. If for any reason you find these aren't working, or they have chewing gum stuck on them, or they've been broken off, ring the council, and they're pretty good at coming out and getting them fixed. Now, guide dogs are trained to locate the tactile paving, drop curb to cross over, and they are trained to wait, and they are trained to override me or a guide dog owner if it is not safe to cross. They're not trained to spot when it's safe and tell you to cross. They're trained to override you if it isn't. So I would come to the curb with my dog and I would say wait, and then I would say forward when I think it's safe. If there was a car coming that I hadn't heard, Flora wouldn't cross. She would override me and she wouldn't move, and I would know that I'd missed something. Now, what I'm finding, and what a lot of people are finding, is that the really considerate and kind drivers on the Isle of Wight are stopping short of a junction to let me across. So what I will always do is either wave the car on, or I'll take a step back and make it clear that I won't cross. And I know this upsets a lot of people. They've stopped and they're thinking, I'm doing a nice thing, I'm letting that blind person cross the road. But actually, it isn't very helpful. When I don't then take the opportunity to cross, they will spin away, or I've had people shout things out the window at me because I haven't taken the opportunity to cross when they've made it safe for me as they see it. But actually, they're not making it safe. Blind and visually impaired people rely a lot on our hearing to cross the road, and while your engine is running, we can't hear anything else around. I can't hear if there are any other cars coming. So actually, it's not making it safe, and it's not actually helping. So what I would sort of say is, if you see a blind or visually impaired person at a junction crossing the road, just carry on with what you're doing. Carry on with the new manoeuvre that you would be doing as a driver, and we will cross over the road using the techniques and the tactics that we have learnt. If, for example, a car was stopped with its engine running, not at a crossing, and I forced Flora, my guide dog, to cross in front of it, it's actually undoing some of the training that she's been taught. She's been taught not to do it, and I'm undermining that training by making her do it, and it then makes her think that it's safe to cross in front of a car with its engine running, and it's really, really not helping. It's taken a lot of time to train these dogs to be really road conscious. I'd just like to, one thing I would like to say is actually, there's a lot of people, blind, visually impaired people. I'm a guide dog owner and a guide dog user. I'm also a long cane user now. But you will also see people out with guide canes and symbol canes. Now, there may be potentially a month, a 6 month, a year, a 2 year, in my case, a 10-year gap between them realising they have sight loss and taking that psychological step to use a mobility aid, whether it be a cane or a dog. And the slightest little thing can really, really knock your confidence. It's taken a lot of guts to get out there. If you can imagine getting out there with your eyes closed, walking to the end of your road and trying to cross the road, it's a really big step to do. So it's absolutely brilliant. If people could just say, would you like a hand? Can I help you? Not a problem. But if we do say, no, I'm all right, thank you, then that's where it should end. People shouldn't insist on helping, is what I'm trying to say. And just be really mindful that it's taken a lot of guts for that person to get out there with their mobility aid, particularly in the early days.